Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week I've got something different. This week I'm doing a product review that I think you just might like. So once you go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up for the next 20 minutes or so, come and join me as we review the VIOFO A229 Pro.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Well, one of the things that Ali and I have in the car, but we don't talk about a lot, but is very, very vital when you're on the road full time, is your dash cam. And the one that we've got inside the car here, we've had in for about 2 years ago. My father gave it to me, in fact. And it's worked perfectly as we've gone along, but it's starting to get a little bit outdated. It's getting a little bit hard to record on, and more importantly, the sun's just about torn it to pieces. Here it is here. So it was a great piece of kit and it's done the job that it needed to do, but it's time for us to change up. So the good people at VIOFO, they got in touch with us and they said, look, do you want to try our dash cam? And we said, yeah, why not? We're due to change anyway, so here it is. All right, so here's our gear that we got from VIOFO to install into the car. First and most importantly, we've got the dash cam itself, which is a dual channel A229 Pro. I'll show you what's inside the box very soon. Obviously you get a 64 gig memory card that comes with that. Got the hard wiring kit so that we can wire it into the car. I'll show you the importance of that a little bit later on. And a little remote control. All right, a couple of things I needed to get, just to keep it simple when I was installing it, is I also just went and bought these fuse holders from Supercheap. They're about 14 bucks each to go and get those. With the Colorado, you just have to check your car. Ours have got the mini blades in it, so to get the smaller one, they do sell two different sizes. And yes, I did make 2 trips to Supercheap. All right, let's see what we get inside the box. Let's get him out. Jeez, I love the suction that you get in these boxes. They're so hard to come apart. Oh, I nearly got it. It's like popping in a champagne cork. All right, let's see what we got. So first up, we've got the wiring diagram. I'm going to need that for a little bit later on because we're going to hardwire this into the car. So let's put that down there. All right, first things first, we've got the A229 Pro camera. That's a good looking unit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is our interior camera. So we've got the dual unit. So we have a camera for the inside of the car, and we also have the camera for forward of the car. There's no point in having a reverse camera because we've got the caravan behind us all of the time. All right, underneath the two cameras, just take the packaging out of the way. I'll find the warranty card. There's also the instructions for the install and how to use the camera, and then below all of that is a number of cables inside here. So first of all, got a little trim remover. That's obviously going to assist me when I'm trying to put the cable in around the trims of the car. Okay, so the first cable is so that you can connect your camera to your interior camera. That way you can run both units at the same time. This is the 12 volt lead, so if you run your unit through a SIG socket, you've got plenty of lead to run it through your car to that SIG socket. And finally, this cable here is so that you can use to download the footage that's in your camera on your memory card into another device, or you can do it through the app, but I'll show you that a little bit later on. And finally, is get a filter to protect the lens on the camera. Next up, I've got the wiring pack, which is going to hardwire our A229 Pro into the car all the time. It's a great way to do it, and the reason that you do it is because this is designed, or one of the functions that it has is it has a motion detector in it, so that when your car is parked, if someone tries to tamper with the car or whatever the case may be, then it'll turn on and start recording straight away, which I think is absolutely fantastic, particularly if you're leaving your car in, you know, isolated locations and things. The pack itself, this is going to replace the 12 volt adapter lead that I showed you a little bit earlier. So here's our lead that we're going to run down through the car and towards our fuse box, and this is the part we're going to hook up to our fuse box. So inside you get 3 leads. I haven't pulled it apart yet, but you can see there I've got a positive lead or a battery lead. I've got an accessories lead, and I've also got the earth, and I'll show you how I install this very, very soon. And they all come pre-cut, so the wires have been exposed for you in there, and I'll show you how I'm going to connect those up to the little fuse holders that we got from Supercheap.
The first thing I need to do before I hook the dash cam up onto the car is just find where I've got, first of all, a continuous power source through my fuse box, and then one that only works on accessories. And the easiest way to do that is just to go and get yourself one of these circuit test lights. They're pretty simple. I think I bought this one at Supercheap for about 12 bucks, but they work really well. I'll show you what we do. All right, I've got the car switched off at the moment. All I'm going to do is I've hooked the other end of this, got a little alligator clip on it, just onto the chassis of the car, and it's going to poke in here in my fuse box and find where I've got a live lead. What I'm looking for is a little screwdriver here to light up. So I'll just go in, see what we get. So we'll try this one here. What we got? Nothing there. What we got? There we go. So that one there, I've got the car all switched off at the moment and the light's coming on, so that means that's a continuous power source. So the other one I need to find is an accessories one. So to do that, just turn your car on to accessories. So let's pop the keys in and we'll hunt around and see if we can find that one. So we'll go to this one up in here. What do we got? Oh, there, you got to go to the little fuse opening on the right hand side, and it's very hard to see inside there. Well, if I got a torch it wouldn't be, but anyway. No, nothing there. Nothing. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. So I got one there. So I've found one that works on the car all of the time and one that only works while the accessories is on. So they're the two that we're going to put our fuse holders into once we've connected the cables from the A229 Pro into them. Alrighty, next step. I've gone ahead, I've found where I'm going to plug the fuses into inside my fuse box. I'm going to remove the old camera out of the car and start to install a new one. And the first thing I need to do is just thread all the cables through so I can make a nice, neat, factory-like finish. And I'm going to use the little levering tool that I showed you that come inside the box to assist me to do that. Alright, just while I stick this cabling in, I need to admit something. As I've got a little bit older, I don't do a lot of these things myself anymore. I just save me money and I pay someone else to do them for me. But VIOFO said, you need to, can you install it for us? And I said, yeah, no worries. So I watched a couple of videos online and they sort of gave me the basis on what I needed to do to be able to install these successfully. And let me tell you, it's all pretty bloody easy. Alright, so here's one of our fuse holders that I got from Supercheap. I've put the two fuses in the top there. These will run a maximum of 20 amps, but at the moment they give you two to suit 15. That'll be more than enough for this. At the end here, you can see a little bit of heat seal. So all I'm going to do is put my positive lead into that, heat seal that up, and then plug that into that positive or continuous power source we found before. Then I'm going to do the same for the accessories, and all things being equal, should turn it on. It's getting a little dark, but I hope you can see inside there. So you can see where I've connected in my two wires. So I've got me full-time battery in there, and I've also got my accessories one just a little bit above that, and I've tested it and everything works fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hook the camera up and we'll position it onto the windshield and away we go. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is just need to insert my SD card. So I'll just pop that in. Done. And then I'll attach it to the windscreen. Just before you attach your unit to the windscreen, just on the front of your camera there's a small bit of plastic which is just there to protect the lens. Just make sure you take that off, otherwise your images are going to be pretty crappy when they come back out. And you also have the same sort of thing over the top of the screen itself that goes on there. And of course you have the 3M tape. Just be careful when you pull the 3M tape off the back that you don't pull all of the sticky surface off, because that's what's going to attach it to the windshield. And of course it goes without saying, make sure you clean your windshield before you put it on. Okay, the other way to hook up your A229 Pro, if you don't want to hook it up or hardwire it the way that we done it, is to use the 12 volt cable which comes supplied inside the kit and just run it directly onto a 12 volt. Now, as I showed you at the start, we did wire ours up in the end permanently, and because that was just simpler for us. But initially I did wire it up via the 12 volt just to show you the difference. So I'll give you a look at what that looks like. So the cable itself just runs in through the top, and I just run it along the roof line. I've just loosely placed it down the side of the pillar there. I only done that because I know I'm going to remove it. And I run it down here under my floor trim. And for us, the 12 volt, because I've had it removed in the front, is located near the back seat. And there it is, just down in there. So it just plugs conveniently away. The only problem is that I'll only get power to the A229 when I've got the ignition switched on. I don't have it when the ignition is switched off, and that doesn't allow for the motion detectors when I'm not near the car. So here it is, fully installed for us now. You can see that we have the A229 Pro just sat over here, and that's recording all the time whilst we're inside of the car. And just in front of me here is the interior camera, so that I'm going to use it to record myself while we're traveling around. But it may also work if someone tries to break into the car, because remember, I've got this set with the motion, which will activate the cameras. And hopefully if anyone ever does try to steal a car or break into the car to steal something, we might be able to catch them up on that camera, which I think is a magnificent piece of kit. The last thing I need to do, and I think this is really good, is just install our remote. So with the remote, it comes preloaded with the battery. You do get a spare battery in there. It says in the instructions just to place it somewhere that's convenient around the dashboard. And I'm going to pair it in a second, but what it allows is that when we're driving around, if I want to save some footage without having to fumble around with the camera or access the camera through my phone, all I do is simply push the button on there and it'll save whatever I've recorded instantly. So I think that's great innovation. It keeps your eyes on the road, and it's very, very simple to use. So I'll just quickly pair that. So the way to pair it is just to push and hold the button for 3 seconds. You see the little light illuminates, and just like your normal Bluetooth stuff, it's gone to blue. She's good to go. The last thing I'd like to show before we take off and go for a drive, and I show the sort of footage that this shoots, because remember it shoots in 4K, which is going to be very advantageous to our YouTube videos as well, is just the app that comes with it, and all of it can also be controlled through the app. So here's my phone just here, and I just connect to the camera. Just give it a second to load up. Here we go. And what this does is it gives me the live feed. So you can see over here on this side of it, this is the live feed that's going on through the dashboard at the moment. And here's the interior cam. You can see me talking there. All right, that's a great piece of kit to have. And then down the bottom here, I can switch cameras. So I can get the main view on me, which I don't think anybody really wants, or I can switch back to just having the main camera. I think that's the way that I would normally have it set up. I don't need to see a picture of my head while I'm driving along. The other thing that's in here, or you can see down the bottom here, just before I go ahead, is a little red dot. That just means that we're currently recording. I've got this set to a loop, but I'll show you that in the settings. So here's the settings. This gives me all the stuff on the camera. So I'll just open up a couple here. So video resolution, I've got it set at the highest at the moment, so 2160p, 30 FPS. But you can change that based on what your needs are. Your recording loop, so at the moment we're recording every minute. I'm just going to change that. I like it just to go a little bit longer, so I'll set that to 5 minutes. I'm set for audio recording, so it'll also record my noise or conversation that's inside of the car. And then we got the sensor for sensitivity. All right, so you can set that to high, low, whatever it is that you need for that. All of your date stuff. Now when you initially set up your camera at the top here, it connects and it asks you what your time zone is, and it sets it all up for you as soon as it's got the GPS signal. And then down here I can turn my parking mode on, so how long it time lapses for. I can have the low bit rate recording, I can have auto event detection, so I'll just set that on. And that just means that when I'm parked, if someone tries to break into the car, then the camera will start recording straight. That only happens when it's hardwired into your car and you're running off the continuous power source, not directly off your 12 volt. Unless of course your 12 volt is running continuously inside, or when I say 12 volt, your SIG socket is running continuously while you're in the car, and out of the car of course. And then through to 1,000 others here, but I'll let you have a read of what's in your user manual if you decide to buy one of these units. But I tell you what I've seen so far, I absolutely love this. This is great. Okay, the last thing I'd like to show you on the app is just how you come back and have a look at the footage that you've already saved. So I just hit the little square box down the bottom here to open up the file. And then once I open up, here's all the video that we've shot in the last 10 minutes or so. Just open up any one of those. You can see this is me yapping away and doing whatever I'm doing inside of the car. If I want to get rid of that, all I need to do is simply hit the delete button, and it can go. Or just like you do on your iPad or your iPhone or whatever it is that you use, you can go ahead, you can select all of them if you want to and delete the lot at the whole time, or you can upload it. Or if you just want to isolate certain footage that you've shot, let's say for example just for your front camera, this is everything that we've shot from the front camera so far. Once again, I can delete what's necessary, or I can keep what I want. Everything comes time stamped, date stamped, and how big the file is, particularly if you want to download it onto something else. Well, that's the end of the installation. So let's go for a drive now to show you the sorts of pictures that you can expect to get from your VIOFO A229 Pro when you're out and about driving around with this fantastic dash cam. Now remember, ours is only the front cam, so I'm not going to show you any rear cam photos today, but we do have the interior cam, and I'll insert that a little bit later on so you can see the sort of pictures that it takes. But some general information about the A229. It records in 4K Ultra HD. It is fitted with the Sony STARVIS 2 image sensors. It has built-in Wi-Fi suiting both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Front and rear cameras all film in HDR. There are voice control and notifications that comes from the unit itself whilst you're driving around. The screen is a real good size. It's 2.4 inches and it's a HD screen, and it's great just to tuck away in behind your rear vision mirror so you haven't got that going while you're driving along. As I showed you in the fit out, it does come with the parking mode, which will switch on and start recording provided you've hooked it up to that continuous power source, and it is fitted with a GPS logger, so all of your videos come with the exact coordinates as to where the incident took place. But have a look at the pictures here. You saw the daylight. This is into the evening. The pictures are just as good as we go down. Nothing's glaring out the camera, particularly headlights or the setting sun that you can see in the distance there.
You should be able to read the words on the back of the truck pretty easily. We're about 50 to 60 metres behind him at the moment. Anyway, I'll enlarge a little bit and see how we go. Well, that's it for today's episode, and I suppose the proper way to close out is via our interior camera, which we set up during the episode, just to show you the quality of the picture and the sound quality that you get through your dash cam system, or in our case the dual system. Remember, this can come as a triple, so you can get your dash cam, you can get your interior cam, you can also get a rear view cam. We didn't need the rear view cam because we've got the caravan on the back all the time, so I didn't need to record anything in there. This will really suit our needs perfectly, but you might need to do something a little bit different, or you might want the complete setup. It's all up to you. I've dropped a discount code in. Please, if you want to try and save yourself a couple of dollars, throw that in if you purchase one of these units. But for us, this is going to be a great addition to our travel. It's going to help us around insurances if we're ever involved in an accident, because we'll be able to prove what actually happened, and just take some great video of the road while we drive down to show you the different places of Australia that we explore. I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. It allows our channel to grow. If you've got any questions on today's video or any other video that we put out, please hit me up in the comment section. I'm more than happy to get back to you as soon as I can. But until next Saturday, you have yourselves a great week. We'll see you then. Bye bye.